What's up, Warrior fans? It's your boy Addison. I want to welcome everybody to the very first episode of Warrior Chat TV. And as everybody knows, last night the Warriors played the Spurs last night, and they got beat by 29. But I'm here. Relax, calm down. I know what you're thinking. Oh my gosh, this is not gonna work. How is it? Relax. It's gonna work. Trust me. Trust me. It's gonna work. It's just game one, and what a better opponent to play than the San Antonio Spurs. Greg Popovich had them boys coached up last night, ready to go. As anybody saw the game, Kawhi Leonard played an absolute monster game. He had 35 points. He was 10 for 21 from the field. I think he had a double-double, if I'm not mistaken, and or close to it, man. I mean, he just had 35 points. He was just eating. I mean, a lot of his points came from the free throw line. He went to the free throw line 15 times. So, I mean, a lot of his points came from the free throw line, but he was scoring as well, too. LaMarcus Aldridge, another one. He had 26 points. He was a monster. He had 26 and 8. I'm sorry, 26 and 14. So he had a double-double, 26 and 14. He was eating. And that really was just a byproduct of there's no rim protection, which gets me into my first point about the Warriors this season. But also with the negatives, I also have positives as well. So my first point, I don't think the Warriors have that true inside presence that they want. I think they thought Jaja Pachulia could give them that same kind of production that Andrew Bogut did, but I don't think that's the case. I think you have to have somebody in there that not only can play defense, but also can get a shot or two on the offensive end and or get fouled or something. I don't think Jaja Pachulia, like I said, he had 2 points last night, so I don't think that gets it done for us on that inside interior presence. My second point is defensively. I like the defensive effort, but I think it could be better. And I think a lot of times, if you saw the game last night, we had a lot of switching going on. So I think that's the beauty about the team in which we do have, is that they're able to, the ability to switch. So Draymond can guard the 3, KD can guard the 4, especially against a team like the San Antonio Spurs, which I didn't think the Spurs are a better team than us. I really didn't. I really didn't. I think last night was just a pure indication of the Warriors just coming out flat. I just think they just came out flat. I think they were prepared for the Spurs, but I don't think they really were prepared for the Spurs. Like I said, Tony Parker was not a factor. Ginobili really wasn't a factor. It really was Kawhi Leonard and LaMarcus Aldridge show last night, and Jonathan Simmons, which I believe, just like Draymond Green said after the post game, you can't let a guy like that come off the bench and score 20 points. And I don't think he'll get that again against us and or again during the regular season. He's a fine player. He has a lot of game to him. Like I said, if y'all watched the game last night, you saw he had an incredible 3 at the end of the game. I'm sorry, at the end of the first half last night. That kind of put them up, and that kind of was just the story of the game last night. Just a lot of just little errors that we had. I don't think, like I said, I don't think the Spurs is a better team than us in a 7-game series. We could beat the Spurs easily, 4-0, 4-1, whatever the case may be. So I'm not really concerned about that. But I just think last night was just an indication, and which it was almost in my mind a blessing in disguise for Steve Kerr and the Warriors, because the more you win, you tend to gloss over little things, as opposed to when you lose, and when you lose by 29, all your all your flaws tend to show. And I think last night a lot of flaws showed last night, and which was a good thing, because I think it propels them. I'm sorry, not propels, prepares them going forward during this regular season and on this run that we're about to go on. You know what to look out for, things to prepare for, different lineups. I don't think Steve Kerr used all of his lineups last night. I just think he kind of tried something just to see. KD played heavy minutes. He had 37 minutes. And last night he had 27 and 10, so he had a double-double. I think Steph, from my honest estimation, Steph had 26. He was 3 for 10 from 3. Klay Thompson had 11 points. He was 5 for 13. He's 1 for 6. From 3. So I don't think those guys are going to shoot like that. They have another game Friday night against the Pelicans, and I think in New Orleans, I think they'll bounce back. I think they'll get a big win in which they need. Like I said, everybody don't panic. Like I said, I watch sports and I watch all these shows, and everybody's panicking and saying the Warriors are a joke and they're not this and that. Just relax. They're going to be okay. Just like with any super team, just like we saw with Miami. It takes time. Though this team is not Miami, we've seen it before with super teams, even with Boston to a degree. It takes time for those guys to mesh and gel, because you're so used to, on the team you came from, of being the man, right? So Kevin Durant, went from being the man on his team to now he just one of the guys. So that's a whole different role. Steph has to change his role. Klay is not changing his role, but Klay is going to have to change his role. Draymond especially has to change his role. So a lot of guys have to change his role. And then also the bench is not the same, right? You lose Barbosa off that bench. You lose Mo Spates. You lose Azili. You lose guys off the bench. You kept Sean, and you got Andre coming off that bench, and you got Ian, and then you got the rookie, which I'm intrigued to see, Patrick McCall, which they say he can score. So I'm intrigued to see what he does. But so you lost a lot off that bench. You lost a lot off the team. In turn, you got a great player, but you lost a lot too. So you have to keep in mind that is a learning curve, and it does take time to get those guys back going. But with that said, like I said, everybody relax and be patient. It's just game one, and it was against the Spurs. Spurs is already a veteran ball club. I think they only lost two people. I think Tim Duncan and I think Boris Diaw. But in the grand scheme of it, both of those guys really were replaceable. Tim Duncan, as we saw down the stretch of last year, he didn't play a lot of minutes, even into the playoffs, even in that OKC series. He didn't play in those key moments during that series. So really, and then you added him with the Pau Gasol, a veteran guy who came in and who could just come in and just be himself, really. He didn't have to change his game, didn't have to really change anything. He just come in and be himself. And so I think that helped out a lot. So with that said, it's game one. It was against the Spurs. We're going to be okay. Game two, Friday night against the Pelicans in New Orleans will be a great game. I think they'll bounce back. I think Draymond will have a better game. I think Clay will have a better game. I think Steph will have a better game. We know what KD's going to do. And I also think, and this is just my bold prediction, I think Sean Livingston will have a better game. Like Sean Livingston only played 13 minutes last night, and he only had 2 points. And I think Steve Kerr, with how he was beneficial in the past, was he used his bench a lot. And last night he didn't use his bench like he was supposed to. Even in the playoff series last year, if y'all remember, it was times in which he wouldn't go to that bench. And when you did go to the bench in certain situations, they won. So I think you got to use that bench. I think you got to use guys like Sean Livingston, Andre Iguodala, Ian Clark. You got to use those guys coming off that bench. And also try JaVale McGee. I mean, you got him, you signed him. Why not? We know him from Shaqtin' a Fool. We know him from being lazy, just being a flat out funny guy on the court. But he's a body, and you never know what you could do. You never know what you got until you use it. So with that being said, I just want to see Steve Kerr just little subtle changes. I don't think a lot needs to be changed. I do think it was a wake up call for him. I just think that hey, it's the real thing now. We got to get going. So like I said, I'm not gonna rush to judgment. It's early, and a lot of people going to have their opinions and their says, but I just think it's early, and we just got to relax. So with that said, Dub Nation and all NBA fans out there, again, I am your host, Addison. I want to thank y'all for watching the very first episode of Warrior Chat TV. If you haven't done so, down below, like, comment, and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend about this channel. If you know any other NBA fans, tell them to subscribe to this channel. This is our channel, so leave all comments down below. I'm free to discussion. I'm up for debate. I think debate is healthy. I think it's natural to have debate. I think it's natural to have disagreements and arguments because I think those make compelling conversations. So with that being said, please like, comment, subscribe, share if you haven't done so. Twitter is now up and running, so go follow me on Twitter. I'll get Facebook and all those other platforms going here very, very soon. Again, this is Addison and Warriors Chat TV. Until next time, peace.